Unraveling India's genetic tapestry. India, with its vibrant diversity and rich history, holds a unique place in the world's genetic landscape. Home to a multitude of ethnicities, languages, and cultures, the Indian subcontinent has been shaped by millennia of migrations and cultural exchange. This intricate history is reflected in the DNA of its people, making India a fascinating subject for genetic studies. Recent studies of haplogroups have provided insights into India's past. By analyzing markers on the Y-chromosome and mitochondrial DNA, scientists can trace ancestral lineages and migration patterns. This essay explores haplogroups across various caste groups, shedding light on India's genetic heritage. From the Indus Valley civilization to the arrival of Indo-European speakers, India's genetic makeup reflects a blend of indigenous ancestry and external influences. India's genetic tapestry reveals the shared ancestry that binds us all. By unraveling our genes, we understand India's past, present diversity, and human interconnectedness. We will examine how genetic markers vary between caste groups, revealing historical migrations and social structures. Before that, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, TrendTalkTube, to continue watching videos like this. Decoding haplogroups. To understand India's genetic history, we must first grasp the concept of haplogroups. These genetic markers serve as signposts on our ancestral journey, revealing the paths our forefathers took across the globe. Imagine haplogroups as distinct branches on a vast family tree, each representing a unique lineage. Y-DNA haplogroups trace paternal ancestry, while mitochondrial DNA haplogroups follow maternal lineage. These haplogroups evolve through mutations, creating distinct markers that differentiate lineages. By analyzing these markers, scientists can categorize individuals into specific haplogroups, revealing ancestral origins and migration patterns. The study of haplogroups helps reconstruct human history, uncovering deep connections that unite us all. A melting pot of genes and cultures. India's geographic location at the crossroads of Asia has made it a melting pot of genes and cultures for millennia. From ancient times, waves of migrants, traders, and conquerors traversed mountains, deserts, and seas, bringing with them their own distinct genetic signatures and cultural practices. This constant influx of people and ideas has woven a complex tapestry of human diversity, making India a treasure trove for genetic studies. The Indian subcontinent bears witness to the legacy of numerous migrations, each leaving an indelible mark on the genetic landscape. The earliest inhabitants, likely descended from groups who ventured out of Africa tens of thousands of years ago, laid the foundation of India's genetic diversity. Subsequent migrations, including the arrival of Indo-European language speakers from Central Asia thousands of years ago, further enriched the genetic mix. These migrations were not merely demographic events, they were cultural transformations that shaped the course of Indian history. The fusion of indigenous traditions with those brought by newcomers gave rise to new languages, religions, social structures, and artistic expressions. The caste system, a complex social hierarchy, emerged as a unique feature of Indian society, influencing marriage patterns and social interactions for centuries. Y-DNA haplogroups in India. The study of Y-DNA haplogroups in India reveals a fascinating story of paternal lineages and ancient migrations. Haplogroups R1A, H, L, J, and C offer clues about ancestral origins and historical movements. R1A is linked to Indo-European languages and is frequent in upper caste groups. Its presence suggests a genetic influx from Central Asia. Haplogroup H represents a deep ancestral root in South Asia. It highlights the genetic continuity of indigenous populations. Haplogroups L, J, and C show ancient migrations and gene flow. The distribution varies between regions, ethnic groups, and castes. These variations reflect historical migrations and cultural practices shaping India's genetic landscape. The maternal lineage, mtDNA, and caste continuity. While Y-DNA haplogroups provide insights into paternal ancestry, mitochondrial DNA, or mtDNA, offers a complementary perspective, tracing maternal lineages and shedding light on the genetic continuity of different groups within India. Interestingly, studies on mtDNA haplogroups reveal a striking degree of continuity across caste lines, suggesting a shared ancestry that predates the emergence of the caste system. Unlike Y-DNA, which is passed down solely through the paternal line, mtDNA is inherited only from the mother. This means that mtDNA lineages can persist within a population even if there is significant gene flow from other groups through male lines. The high diversity of mtDNA haplogroups observed in India, coupled with the sharing of these haplogroups across different caste groups, supports the idea of a long-standing and genetically diverse indigenous population. This finding challenges the notion of strict genetic isolation between castes, suggesting that intermarriage and gene flow between different social groups were not uncommon in the past. It highlights the importance of considering both paternal and maternal lineages when studying the genetic history of populations. The caste system, social structure, and genetic stratification. The caste system, a complex social hierarchy that has shaped Indian society for centuries, has inevitably left its mark on the genetic landscape of the subcontinent. While mitochondrial DNA studies suggest significant genetic continuity across caste lines, analyses of Y-DNA haplogroups and other genetic markers reveal a degree of genetic stratification, particularly between groups traditionally considered upper caste and those considered lower caste. This stratification is likely a result of endogamy, the practice of marrying within one's own social group, which has been prevalent in India for centuries. Endogamy limits gene flow between different groups, leading to the accumulation of genetic differences over time. The degree of genetic stratification varies between regions and caste groups, reflecting differences in the stringency of endogamy practices and historical patterns of social interaction. It's important to note that the caste system is not a monolithic entity. It encompasses a vast and diverse array of social groups with their own unique histories, customs, and patterns of social interaction. Genetic studies provide valuable insights into the impact of social structures on genetic diversity, but they should not be interpreted as reinforcing rigid or simplistic notions of caste. Beyond genes, culture, history, and identity. While genetic studies provide valuable insights into India's past, it's crucial to remember that genes alone cannot fully capture the richness and complexity of human history and identity. Cultural factors, historical events, and social interactions all play a significant role in shaping individual and group identities, often in ways that transcend genetic ancestry. The caste system, for example, is not just a biological reality. It's a deeply ingrained social institution with its own set of beliefs, practices, and power dynamics. Similarly, religious conversions, linguistic assimilation, and intercaste marriages have all contributed to the fluidity of social boundaries and the complex interplay of genetic and cultural heritage in India. It's essential to avoid simplistic interpretations of genetic data and to recognize that genetic ancestry is just one facet of a much larger and more intricate tapestry of human diversity. By combining insights from genetics, history, archaeology, linguistics, and anthropology, we can gain a more nuanced and holistic understanding of India's past and present. The future of genetic research in India. The field of genetic research in India is rapidly evolving, with new technologies and research initiatives promising to provide even deeper insights into the subcontinent's genetic history and the complex interplay of genes, culture, and identity. Large-scale genomic studies involving thousands of individuals from diverse backgrounds will allow researchers to map India's genetic landscape in unprecedented detail, uncovering fine-scale patterns of genetic variation and tracing the subtle footprints of ancient migrations. Ancient DNA analysis, which extracts and analyzes DNA from archaeological remains, holds immense potential for reconstructing the genetic makeup of past populations, shedding light on the origins of the Indus Valley civilization and other ancient cultures. Ethical considerations are paramount in genetic research, especially in a country like India with its complex social history and sensitivities surrounding caste. It's crucial to ensure that genetic studies are conducted with transparency, informed consent, and a deep respect for the cultural and social context in which they are undertaken. Conclusion, a complex genetic legacy. The study of haplogroups and other genetic markers has illuminated the intricate tapestry of India's genetic history, revealing a story of ancient migrations, cultural exchange, and the enduring legacy of indigenous ancestry. From the paternal lineages revealed by Y-DNA to the maternal continuity reflected in mitochondrial DNA, genetic studies have provided a window into the deep past, tracing the footsteps of our ancestors and illuminating the connections between different populations. India's genetic landscape is a testament to its long and rich history as a crossroads of cultures and a melting pot of human diversity. The interplay of indigenous ancestry, external migrations, social structures, and cultural practices has created a complex genetic mosaic that continues to fascinate and challenge researchers today. As genetic research in India progresses, new discoveries are sure to further enrich our understanding of the subcontinent's past, present, and future. By embracing the power of genetics while remaining mindful of its limitations and ethical implications, we can continue to unravel the secrets encoded within our DNA and gain a deeper appreciation for the shared human story that binds us all.